Hi, friend. This is Alex McRobbs, founder of the Mindful Life Practice, and you're listening to the Sober Yoga Girl podcast. I'm a Canadian who moved across the world to the Middle East at age 23, and I never went back. I got sober in 2019, and I now live full-time in Bali, Indonesia. I've made it my mission to help other women around the world stop drinking, start yoga, and change their lives through my online Sober Girls Yoga community. You're not alone, and a sober life can be fun and fulfilling. Let me show you how.
Okay, good morning, everyone. We're now officially live. I'm so sorry for our delay. I was having issues trying to live stream, and then I got locked out of my Facebook account. And then I couldn't get in on Safari. I had to reset the password. Cathy's sitting here waiting. Anyway. So have a new Facebook password. We're in. It's 6 a.m. in Bali. Cathy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's 6:15 here in Cleveland, Ohio, which is Toronto time. As I say to people in MLPC, they're like, "What time is that?" I'm like, "Toronto time." So yes. So I worked today and was back at school. Well, I've been back a couple of days. So yeah.
Are the students back yet, or is it just teachers still?
They come back next week in shifts, and so I need to know what day is the official day, so I know what day to get my nails done for and my hair and wear the first day outfit, because I can't have 4 different days. This is my issue right now.
I totally get that. I completely get that. Oh, first day outfits. That's so fun.
Right. I mean, that's my joy, but I can't have 4 first day outfits. My coworkers were like, "Oh my gosh, you are hilarious today." I need to know when to get hair therapy and when to get my nails done.
I love it. So we have about 10 people watching. This is amazing. So everyone that's watching, let us know in the comments where you're joining from. If you have questions for us, anything that you want to share. And Carolyn and Mimi say hi. Mimi's watching while she eats dinner. Amazing. Carolyn, I think it must be really late for you. I think it's like late night in the UK. But anyway. All right. So we're going to start off our live this morning with some sober news. And Cathy has some sober news for you. So I'm going to pass it over for her.
All right. So today at 11 Toronto time, Eastern Standard Time, the Sober in the City, which I think is I don't know what number, Sober in the City it is, maybe the 3rd, went live for the tickets in Austin, Texas, and they were almost sold out within 2 hours. And
whoa.
Yay, oh my gosh, to the sober community. I am so excited. So we are at the table, as I would call it. We are one of the events to do at Sober in the City in Austin. So I'm very excited for us. And there are still some general tickets. So the VIP tickets were like a mocktail happy hour with Chris Marshall, who has really, Chris has taken he opened up a sober bar in Austin. He was a former bartender, and he has made international news and what he's doing, and companies really vet, alcohol-free companies vet a lot of things through Chris. He's doing pop-ups. He was just in New York City this past weekend. So he's going to be the VIP and be the bartender for that event. So I'm really, really excited about that and the opportunity to network. And the whole Susie, who is your biggest fan, I hate to let everybody know, but she just from Zero Proof, I think she's the one that created this event, and her whole goal is to teach us how to go and teach cities how to host sober events, going into restaurants, hotels, all of that, coffee shops, and then so teaching cities what to do to have people, and then teaching us that we can go and we can have fun and we can be safe traveling and have getaways and things like that. So I'm really excited for us, and I will put it in the chat, the Facebook chat right now, the actual ticket information if anybody's still interested. Or they even got people coming from Canada down to Austin, Texas. It's really exciting. So that's
incredible. And
we're actually going to
tell everyone
Okay.
what you're going to be doing at Sober in the City.
Okay, so it's Friday, Saturday, and then you can stay Sunday for some events as well. Friday, I'm going to be a panelist representing the Sober Yoga Girl community, Sober Girls Yoga community.
Amazing.
And Peggy Cooney, who has a community called This Side of Alcohol. I think there's 17,000 people on her Facebook page, and she wrote a book. She's going to be the moderator and just asking different people about their journey, but their health journey and things like that. Then we are going to host some yoga events, so you can come and have yoga events live. And also we are going to be like on the menu for things to do on Saturday morning. So if you have a group of friends with you and you're like, okay, well, I want to have coffee in the park, but want to do yoga, you can like register with me and I like lead your group in yoga too. So
that's amazing.
Really different, cool stuff. They're gonna they're doing some they're gonna have a what is it called, like a disco dance, like a disco dance thing on Friday night, and there's gonna be like all sorts of like cool like sober events. I'm pretty excited. I think they're going to a cowboy bar, like an alcohol, and they're gonna do an alcohol-free event at a cowboy bar and country music. I'm going to that. So just all sorts of, and then Austin has one of the, I guess, biggest bookstores in the US that a lot of like authors hit there first and bring their, and so we're going to be going there, and there's going to be Quit Lit books out, and Peggy will be moderating things from there too. So
that's
it's a really
incredible.
I know, I'm really, really excited.
You know, I have to say, I'm so jealous over here in Bali. Like, I love where I live, but I just feel like the sober social scene there's two places it's happening, in London and in North America. It is like blowing up. There's all the events. People are getting together. It seems like it's so fun. I'm very jealous. So anyone who's over in North America, if you want to go meet Cathy, hang out with Cathy for a weekend, check out Sober in the City, Austin.
To have people, and I'm trying to talk and find, because I don't know how to put it on our thing. So I'm trying to find I'm getting the event information out.
Awesome. And then also after the live, you could probably go on and put it as a comment in the Facebook group too.
Very true, very true. So to me, that's one of the most exciting things, I think. Like, I just think
that's huge.
They're going to be like, there's going to be another one in January in Long Beach, California. I don't know, you know, I want you to come to one of these. And I want Alex, so they always have a dinner, like a formal dinner. Saturday night, we'll do the mocktail thing, the happy hour. Then there's a formal dinner and there's a guest speaker. This time it's Jen from Sober Sis. I want Alex to be up next. So, you know, I'm working on that.
Manifesting it.
I want Alex to come and represent.
You know what? I actually think I'm going to be in North America around that time anyway. I don't normally do Christmas in Canada, but I think I've succumbed to it. My grandma, it's like, come home for Christmas, and I might be making it happen. So maybe that might be a realistic thing.
So excited.
Other sober news that we have, we were just chatting before, we're like, what's the sober news? And the big one is the launch of our next group of programs. So we are about halfway through our current group of 30-day challengers, 60-day challengers, 108-day challengers, and our SEVA program, which is our volunteering program as part of Sober Girls Yoga. And the community has just been amazing. The engagement has been huge. People are loving it. And we are getting ready. People are already asking about starting the next cohort. So our next cohort group is going to be starting at the start of September. And just to remind you all of the different kind of offerings and the different things. So the 30-day challenge is generally for people in initial sobriety. However, we have someone who's 6.5 years sober who's in the 30-day challenge right now. So it can really be any point. She just really wanted to do the whole program from start to finish. So I said, yeah, why don't you sign up for the 30-day challenge? But it could be any point. But the 30-day challenge is generally the initial sobriety, the first sober days, getting through that. And then the 108-day program is where people would join in, and Cathy leads that part. And that's for people that are a little bit further along the sober journey generally. Like we say, around anywhere from like 2 months to maybe 6 months, that would be the place for you to join the 108. And then we have the SEVA program, which might be having a little bit of a reorganization slash rebrand, which I'm currently working on. And that is for people that are about a year or more sober, or you've been part of the Mindful Life practice, Sober Girls Yoga, for a long time. Ideally, you have done the 30-day and the 108, and it's a leadership program. And so there's going to be leadership training and volunteer opportunities. And yeah, we're getting super excited about the next group.
Well, and a couple of cool things about the next group is it starts in September. So October, November, December, you are getting yourself ready for the holidays. All those big events that come up and New Year's resolutions, you're already ready if you're making some New Year's resolutions. The other thing I would say, like the 108 day, for example, we say that you should be a little further along, but what that really means to me is you have tried the journey out a little bit, it doesn't have to be alcohol free. You just have to be curious. So maybe you have been practicing many times. I call it practicing now. I used to call it, slipping or whatever, but you've been practicing, but you want to go deeper with why, and so this, I feel like any of the, a woman in there who was 6 years, I think I had said to Alex, she's been using in some of her classes a phrase called ember to fire. And I feel like that explains where, the ember in us to the fire. And so just finding that fire within you.
It's so true. It's so true. That ember to fire thing, by the way, I got that from Ram Dass. I definitely didn't come up with that myself.
I didn't think you've been using that a lot lately, and you're right. But I just think you've been using it a lot with different things you've been doing in a positive way. It first struck me because I think when we were in Mexico and we were around the fire and we were talking about it, so it always stuck with me. And then that visual has stuck with me. And I just think the beginning of putting down the drink to, now both of us over 3 years of sobriety, I feel like there's this fire, that we are the bonfire now, and it's cool.
I love that. And that Ram Dass song, well, it's like a little spoken word he did that's put to an East Forest song, but I need to post it in the comments of this below, because he has some beautiful lines in there. Like he says, the real work is to do inside your own heart. And I think the whole thing really resonates with what we're doing. But yeah, I love that. The Fire to Ember program. It's beautiful. Or no, Ember to Fire. Ember to Fire.
Did I say it wrong? I thought I said it wrong. I'm like, oh no.
You said it right, Ember to Fire. It's 6 a.m. for me.
It's early in the morning for you. And I've had gallons of caffeine at this point.
So I just realized it's almost 6:30, by the way. We were late getting on this live because of my technical difficulties, which hopefully will be sorted for next time. But in our last few minutes, what we want to share about is some of the things that we learned in our sober summers. Yes. Cathy had a beautiful metaphor, as she always does, that she wanted to share with all of you.
Well, I took to gardening this summer, and that's a strong word. There were things in buckets on my patio. And so I have plants, and I took my chance at having some vegetables. I had a strawberry plant, and I did not know what the heck I was doing. And I just knew you're supposed to water them. That's all I knew. So some days I watered a lot. Right, but we went to Mexico for, I think I was gone 8-ish days. So I had my daughter in charge of it, and she did okay. But I had times where the sun in Cleveland killed some things off, and then I would water it again, and things would come back to life. We had some storms where they washed things away, but I would come back, and empty things and do things. And there were some days I just forgot, I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't know why. And it was funny, the day before school, I went back to school, so I'm off for the summer. The day before I went back to school, a green pepper, I don't know how huge green pepper. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I had jalapeno peppers. And I had a strawberry, but I got eaten by a creature. I let nature, I'm not going to fight it, whatever that creature needs. But it was just so interesting because I'm I haven't been really good about doing this. And now I have this big green pepper. So I cut it up and brought it to work with me. And I was thinking the next day, so that was Wednesday. Thursday, I wake up, and I am not a morning person, but I get myself up most days. First day back to school, especially. Well, I woke up before the alarm went off. I did stretches and did affirmations as I was doing my yoga stretches. I went for a walk. On the way to work, I was doing chanting. And I'm like, who am I? What have I done? And I'm like, I didn't get a lot accomplished this summer. I was beating myself up a lot of the time, like, oh, I should have been doing this. I should have all over myself. And I was like, but all that watering I did, all that listening to myself, just kind of like the plants. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just knew I had to do something to nurture it. And I was nurturing myself, and I didn't realize, and it brought this energy to me on the first day back to school. And I'm still carrying it with me. It's not very long back into school. So you got to remind me this in February. But I love it because we need to make sure that we're nurturing our own garden. And I think that's really important, that it's okay if we're not doing all the things on the list, but just find a way to nurture yourself daily, because it will pay off, was what I learned this summer.
I love that. And I love that idea of like, you don't have to do it all perfectly, and you don't have to hit every single thing on the checklist, and you still have this beautiful garden.
Yeah, it was just, it was incredible. And I just feel like this garden is just, I've never had anything, and I didn't read books on it. I didn't, I just tuned in.
Yeah.
I tuned into the, like, oh, it looks like it needs a little water. And I have to say, there were days where I was like, I'm just going to take a nap. I'm just going to do this. And it was the same way. I never realized, but I was nurturing my own personal garden. I wasn't like getting the checklist. What does this mean? Like, I'm a little tired. I just kept doing what felt natural and tuning in. Yeah.
And I'm so impressed that you have green pepper. That's amazing.
It was so cool. And I don't even like green peppers. I got it through my daughter, who loves green peppers, but she left for college the next day and never got it. So I was like, I am eating this green pepper. So I can't really tell you if the green pepper was good or not, because I don't like green pepper. But it was fresh.
How did that feel, eating your own, like a vegetable that you've grown in your own garden?
It was so amazing. It was so like, wow, I did this. And I feel like sometimes that's how I feel about like this alcohol-free journey, this self-discovery, this health journey. It's the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, I reached, so many days. Oh, I'm going to Sober in the City. Oh, I'm teaching yoga. Oh my gosh, I'm meeting the most beautiful people on this journey, like Mexico, like just, and like doing the 108, the challenge, like the way people like share, in this community, there's like the garden, like it's like a community garden in our community, and everybody's just watering, either their own plants and helping each other out. And we just, I don't know, we're blossoming together. And it sounds so cheesy. And I had shared this with the 108 group, but I just really felt that way.
That's so, I love that. That's so beautiful.
How about you?
Unfortunately, it's just about 6:30 a.m. Okay. And I have a yoga teacher training starting in a couple of minutes. What did I learn about my sober summer? What did I learn about myself during the sober summer? I would say my biggest lesson learning this summer was about the importance of community and the value of community, and why we need to lean on community. And it started off this summer with the Mexico retreat, and with me being sick and having COVID and being in quarantine, and the whole community coming together and kind of like collectively organizing and running that retreat, despite me being sick. And then just the value of like when you and I teamed up, the way this program elevated so much. And I feel like I just learned the importance of community and the importance of relying on each other and supporting each other. And now we have such a rich program because we have so many people involved. Like we have assistant facilitators in every group, and we have so many people leading this thing. And I just feel like we have to come together and support each other. And that was like my biggest takeaway from this summer.
We can't carry it alone. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I love it. And I see it. That's awesome. You're letting us help water.
Yes, we're all watering the garden. Although I've definitely never grown my own vegetables. I'm so impressed. I'm stuck on that. I'm like, how did you get a green pepper?
I had a friend help me set up, just so you know, like my friend Moira is a miracle, and she like made me take pictures a week after we did it. She didn't believe that anything was like still alive, because she knows how. I'm 50 years old and had never tried before. So you got another 20 years, Alex. You're good.
And you know what? I am in the place where if I wanted to grow a garden, Bali is, I think, the place to grow a garden. So it's maybe it'll be on my list of things to do this year.
Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much, you, Alex, to everyone. And I look forward to doing these Monday things. If anybody has topics, shoot them to us, like send them on over. We'll, we love ideas or questions you have. And somebody asked about Sober in the City. Click the link. It'll tell you all about it. But we will be there. I will be there live representing Sober Girls Yoga. So
yes. And we will be back on live next week. Hopefully we will be on earlier. Hopefully all the tech stuff will be sorted out. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you then.
All right. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Hi, friend. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Sober Yoga Girl podcast. This community wouldn't exist without you here, so thank you. It would be massively helpful if you could subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast so it can reach more people. If we haven't met yet in real life, please come get your 1-week free trial of the Sober Girls Yoga membership and see what we're all about. Sending you love and light wherever you are in the world.